Hello and welcome to the Cinematic Attic YouTube channel. I'm Mike. How are you? This is the channel where we talk about all types of movies, all types of genres, and all types of physical media. So if you're okay with that, welcome. So another big haul for you this time. And we're going to start with everything and anything related to Vinegar Syndrome, my favorite company. Starting with items I got from December, which reached me in January from their partners only month. First from AGFA, The Violent Years, a movie written by Ed Wood. I got this to upgrade this VHS. This also comes with a bonus movie, Anatomy of a Psycho, which I already owned, but not on Blu-ray, so there we are. And from Canadian International Pictures, I could not pass up another film in the series that brought us the Peanut Butter Solution and the Christmas Martian. The Dog Who Stopped the War. So, loaded with special features. Next up, everything I got in January for the subscriber month. I'm not a subscriber. I'd like to be, but until I make a lot more money, I'm going to pick and choose. But I did get some of the new items, some of the partner label items, some of the sale items from January. Starting with Blonde Death from the new partner label, Bleeding Skull. New partner label, but by no means a new entity. Bleeding Skull. I have the two books I've shown on this channel before. Love those books, so if they're going to be putting out films of those kind of movies, of the movies listed in those books, I'm all in. Very excited. Going to check out Blonde Death. From Factory 25, this is the first thing I've ever picked up from that sub-label, or partner label. This little film about WFMU, a radio station. And I got this specifically because back in the height of MP3 blogs, WFMU had an excellent, amazing blog called Beware of the Blog. I would go there almost every day and download MP3s of all sorts of strange songs, audio oddities, found recordings, all sorts of strange things that were awesome. And this is a documentary all about that radio station. I know they have a huge record library, so I'm just interested in learning more about the station itself. Then another from VHS Hitfest. I'm so far getting everything they put out. Vial 21. I changed the cover to this, which I like better. Shot on video film. Looking forward to seeing it. One of the Vinegar Syndrome titles that were on sale that I didn't own already. Party Line. This has Richard Roundtree and Leif Garrett in it, but the thing that was interesting for me is Sean Weatherly's in this, and I know most people know her from Baywatch, but I remember her from a short-lived, like 4 or 5 episode series. Maybe it was only meant to be that many, I don't know. Called Ocean Quest, which was, I guess, an early attempt at reality TV, or at least somewhat reality TV, of her going along on this ocean quest where she would go out and learn to explore the ocean, swim with sharks, that kind of thing. And I remember that from when I was young, seeing that. That's where I first saw her. And I remember in that series, she wasn't too happy at certain points to be doing what she was doing. And it was weird for me back then to see that kind of real-life reaction in a show. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but Ocean Quest is available on YouTube. Um, the best way to watch it, there's one particular video that has the whole thing in one chunk, like one video that's a few hours long. I've gone back and watched the first few episodes of that. Very interesting. But anyway, Party Line. Very happy to get another Forgotten Jolly box set. This one, Volume 6. I love these things. It's great boxes. 3 films. And I love that they don't just automatically fall out. There's something keeping them in there. But, at any rate, 3 films in here. The Blood-Stained Shadow, which I already had on a Blue Underground DVD, but oh well. Death Carries a Cane, and Naked You Die. So, some more Jolly. Volume 6. Then I could not believe the news when they announced this. As a collector, this was big news. Finally getting this movie, Little Darlings, on a disc of any kind, let alone 4K, was a long-awaited thing. Like most folks who owned the movie, outside of a bootleg, this VHS was it. And I'm happy I can now get rid of it, because this exists. The new Vinegar Syndrome label cinematograph, doing insane work. Book. Essays, followed by the discs, 4K and Blu-ray. And one of these thingies. Yeah, insane. But insane in an awesome way. Couldn't believe this was announced. So incredibly happy it was. I almost bought a bootleg many times over, but resisted. Because I held hope. Paid off. And their 1-2 punch second release from Cinematograph, Red Rock West. Same kind of format. Allowing me to upgrade this VHS. That's all the Vinegar Syndrome related things. Moving on to Severin, got one thing. Their Blu-ray of Blood Moon. Picked this up specifically to upgrade VHS. So happy to have that. One thing I did a lot of this past month, actually over a month since my last video, besides upgrading VHS, as I'm always doing, upgrading more full screen DVDs, movies on DVD in my collection that aren't supposed to be full screen, and a lot of them potentially having releases out there that are in the proper aspect ratio and looking a little better. As I mentioned a long time ago, back in the day I bought a lot of those budget packs, Mill Creek 50 packs, BCI, Eclipse, Brentwood, all those companies that put out those discount packs of movies with bad prints. I've been systematically now, instead of just kind of wandering through them, systematically going through them and finding all the movies that I need to replace with available editions of those films in correct aspect ratios, if nothing else. I've also been systematically going through my whole collection of DVDs, searching out those type of situations. And I see I have a long road ahead of me. So a lot of the things you'll see in here are upgrades of full screen DVDs to either a correct aspect ratio DVD or Blu-ray. One of those is Baba Yaga. This is a Blue Underground DVD, upgrading a full screen counterpart elsewhere in the collection. Upgrading a full screen DVD from a Mill Creek 50 pack, we have this Code Red Blu-ray of the Eerie Midnight Horror Show. Same situation. This time upgrading with a Code Red DVD of Mean Johnny Barrows. Okay, Warner Archive. Got 3 items here. First is the new Looney Tunes Collector's Choice Volume 2. These are great because they have mostly cartoons that I don't own elsewhere. That's why I continue to get this series, and I think there's at least a third on the way. 25 cartoons on here. Most of them do not own. So, very happy about that. So they keep doing this. It's almost like a rarities collection, collector's choice. Things that people have been asking for because they're not available. So that's perfect. Picked up this collection of Randolph Scott Westerns. I have been watching a lot of Randolph Scott. I wanted to get some more. This one has Badman's Territory, Trail Street, Return of the Badmen, Carson City, and Westbound. Westbound is one of the films he did that was directed by Bud Boddicker. But yeah, putting some more Randolph Scott in the collection. Then, just for fun, Steel with Shaq. Got that one to upgrade this VHS. From Cauldron Films, this one will upgrade a full screen DVD from a Mill Creek 50 pack. That is Frankenstein 80 on Blu-ray. Then Hamilton Books had a sale. Well, they're always having a sale. That's basically their existence. But they recently put out a video that they got in a bunch of Scorpion Blu-rays. And all the ones I got here, and I got 6 of them, were about $6 each. So I got all 6 of these just to upgrade VHS. Starting with POW, The Escape, some David Carradine. Upgrading this. Iron Warrior. Upgrading this. Hotel Colonial. Upgrading this. Death Warrant with some Van Damme. More Van Damme to come in this update. Upgrading this. Bucktown with Fred Williamson and Pam Grier. Can't go wrong with that combo. Upgrading this. And the last one of that batch, Angel Unchained. Don Stroud, upgrading this VHS, this MGM Midnight Movies VHS that I've had for a long time. A couple more upgrades of these VHS also in this video. Then a couple more Scorpions that I picked up elsewhere. Charlie Chan and the Curse of the Dragon Queen to upgrade a full screen DVD that I had. And this one on DVD I got just because I'd seen the trailer on one of the other releases and it looked interesting. Where the Lilies Bloom. Okay, this one upgrades a full screen DVD of a Vittorio De Sica film, Two Women, starring Sophia Loren. Great film. This one coming from Cult Films label. Okay, this one kind of blew my mind a little bit. You've seen this movie in past videos. It's one of my Pantheon favorite movies of all time. It's also part of the Warriors Cinematic Universe, as I call it. And all these times I've brought it up, I've shown my Shriek Show DVD as my copy. But I discovered that Tenement actually has a widescreen version. On Shriek Show on Blu-ray. So I was a little disappointed that I had felt misled. My own fault, though. That my full screen DVD was how the film was supposed to be. All these years. So I could not order this quickly enough to get Tenement in. Apparently it's proper widescreen 178:1 ratio. Anyway, here it is. From Unearthed Films. I just got the DVD because I just needed to upgrade the Blu-ray or the VHS. The Grand Tour. Jeff Daniels, also known as Grand Tour Disaster in Time, upgrading this VHS that I've had a very long time. So got that. Some items from MVD. Two of these first two, are available on MVD Rewind Blu-rays, but I went the cheaper route, getting these on DVD. Just general DVD to save some money. I just needed to upgrade the VHS of The Point. Upgrading this. Nemesis 2, 3, and 4, which I got mainly to upgrade my VHS of 2, but getting 3 and 4 is a nice bonus. And then the last MVD, this one actually from the Rewind Collection Blu-ray of Ski Patrol, which I got to upgrade this VHS. Some Scream Factory titles. Got a few more than usual. But in order to upgrade several full-screen DVDs from Mill Creek Packs, I got the Paul Naschy Collection 1 and 2. So together these give you 10 films. Little booklets with each. I'm not like the world's biggest Paul Naschy fan, or at least I should say I'm not someone who gets excited about Paul Naschy films. I have nothing against him whatsoever. I wasn't going to buy these, but then I realized, hey, a lot of these films in here exist in terrible full screen prints, and those happen to be in my collection, and so they must be replaced. So I got these. This one, this one. Every so often, as a collector, a few times a year, you get these announcements for things that you'd never thought you'd see, or things that you had been waiting for a very long time to see. This is one of those. Finally getting on disc, let alone Blu-ray, Funeral Home. I had this on a Mill Creek 50 movie box set in a bad full screen version, so technically it was on disc, but not correctly. So when this was announced, I was elated, so happy to get this. I did get the special edition that came with the poster, which I have, of course, as you can see, put on my wall. And you know, I'm weird about posters. I should say posters that come with movie releases. If a poster is packaged inside of the case as part of the package, I will not remove it. Because to me, it belongs in there. It's part of the package. Too bad, so sad. Not going on the wall. I'm not breaking up the package. It's like breaking up the family. But fortunately, their posters come separately in a big tube. So, on the wall it went. Funeral Home. More on this later. Attack of the Puppet People, which will upgrade this MGM Midnight Movies VHS. Then a couple of these, not from boutique labels, but I wanted to just throw them in here anyway. As I mentioned before, some more Van Damme. Kickboxer on Blu-ray. This is from these are just from Lionsgate. Upgrading VHS. And Replicant. Upgrading VHS. Some more full screen DVD upgrades from Full Moon, The Day Time Ended. From Full Moon. And from Dark Sky, remember Dark Sky? DVD of The She-Beast with Barbara Steele. Next up, we have some Kino lorber. This first one, a movie I've seen but never owned. Beware the Blob. Directed by Larry Hagman. Yes, that Larry Hagman. Yep. Then these next three are all westerns to upgrade full screen DVDs. Bad Man's River, Lee Van Cleef, James Mason, and Gina Lollobrigida. That name is so fun to say. Another Lee Van Cleef, Captain Apache. This one with Carol Baker, Stuart Whitman. And a Sergio Corbucci film, The Hellbenders, with Joseph Cotten. One of the more recent releases, actually the next three are pretty recent. Babes in Toyland on Blu-ray, this one with Keanu Reeves and Drew Barrymore. Got this to upgrade a VHS. They're at it again. Film Noir, The Dark Side of Cinema 16. 16th box set, more on the way. This one has Iron Man. Not that Iron Man, but Iron Man. Mystery of Marie Roget. And the Chicago Deadline. 3 more wonderful films noir to watch. Also then, I got Split Image to upgrade this VHS, this very faded VHS. Yes, Split is almost completely faded away from that cover. And the final Kino lorber, Master of the World, to upgrade this Midnight Movies VHS. Finally, last 2 items, both Criterion. This one is not new, but I figured I got the Blob sequel. I might as well get the Blob and upgrade this VHS that I've had since the dawn of time. So I got the Blob, Criterion. And the last one is a newer release, one that I heard so many people talk about, so many people praise. I just had to try it. Lone Star, John Sayles' picture. So there you go. All the stuff I wanted to highlight. Here's everything else I picked up. Went to an antique mall, got some DVDs. Here's the first batch of what I got. I should say first half. This one is from the Universal Made-on-Demand Vault series. Did get a couple B westerns. Actually found a Synapse DVD there. This was interesting. It's a documentary Kickstarter special edition that's actually signed by the director and I guess the focus of the documentary. And here's the second half of what I got. All of these were $1 or less. Did find one Warner Archive DVD. So these VHS and one DVD can be deleted from the collection. Went to an antique place in Bedford, Pennsylvania that I try to go to every few months. There's always new stuff on the shelves. And I usually walk away with quite a few movies. You can see here 2 full shelves of regular movies. And then across the way, there is another shelf. There's some kids' movies hidden behind this that I didn't show, but there's usually a whole shelf here of television shows. So here's what I got in terms of movies. 2 of the Charlie Chan movie sets, volume 2 and 3. I do have volume 1. Were quite a few action films, Seagal films. And here's all the non-film DVDs I got. And so these VHS and a couple DVDs can be deleted from the collection. Got this 8-movie set at Big Lots for $4, and it upgrades all of these VHS. Second and Charles had a New Year's sale, buy 5, get 5 free. So I got Lawnmower Man 2 to upgrade this VHS. Got Feast 2, this nice double feature of old B movies. Tin Star Western with Henry Fonda and Anthony Perkins. Another Thin Man to upgrade this VHS. Got some Disney movies, including this one, to upgrade a VHS. Got Rare Exports, movie I haven't seen but I've heard a lot about. River's Edge, pretty dark movie. Upgrade that VHS. And Parasite. From Amazon. And from eBay. Got Volume 7, Tim McCoy double feature. Volume 8. Volume 9. And Volume 10. As well as the Whistler collection. Alright, got some movies from multiple places. This from eBay, one of the Fox Studio Classics, and it will upgrade this VHS. Then from a Goodwill, I got some DVDs, including these two, which upgrade these VHS. I got this edition of Transformers the movie. Obviously, I don't need this, but it's an edition I've never seen before. It had a great cover. It was only $2. And looking at the back here, it looks like it's a Canadian release. So that's a nice addition to my Transformers the movie collection. And then from a thrift store, got some more DVDs. And these two will upgrade these two VHS. Couple items from eBay to upgrade VHS. And yes, I know this is coming out from Vinegar Syndrome in a spectacular new edition, but that's okay. From eBay, got a few things. This is to upgrade a VHS that I'm keeping for now, as is this. This is a Columbia made-on-demand movie. And this one, I got to upgrade that VHS. A few more VHS upgrades from eBay. First two, I'm keeping my VHS, but this one, I will part with that tape. Also, from the Disney Movie Club, Mandalorian Season 1 on Blu-ray, because apparently, again, I forgot to decline the selection. But that's okay. I have seen this first season, and I enjoyed it. Bunch of Goodwill pickups. These two upgrading VHS. This one actually upgrading VHS, but I'm keeping the tape because it's autographed. Strangely enough. But yeah, just more stuff building the library. Some more Goodwill goodies. This one upgrades VHS. More from Goodwill. With one VHS upgrade. From eBay. from Goodwill. And these three will upgrade VHS. Got this from eBay, really cheap. Mainly wanted to upgrade this VHS with this widescreen version of Forced Vengeance. Still trying to find these two in widescreen, but in the meantime, this DVD will at least upgrade that VHS. Also, I placed my first order with Sloppy Second Sales to get some hard to find stuff, including this, which I never owned and have never seen, so now's my chance. Grabbed some Japanese films that I'd read about, give those a try, and the full series of Muppet Babies, a program from my youth that you're not going to find because of rights issues beyond random episodes on some old VHS or such. So I just went ahead and grabbed this because it was really cheap, as was everything else. So yeah. Got some more DVDs from Goodwill. From Amazon. Some Goodwill pickups. And these four will upgrade these VHS. Okay, this time around on the Pantheon, my list of all-time favorite films. First of all, I wanted to talk a little bit more about this one, Funeral Home, which I just got in on this Blu-ray from Scream Factory. This film's from 1982. Like I said, I owned this on a Mill Creek 50 movie box set, where I first saw it roughly 15 years ago, and enjoyed it. This film is about a funeral home that is used as a bed and breakfast. People start getting killed. It's kind of a slasher movie, but it mixes elements of other films. One in particular that if I named, it would give away a lot of the surprise, so I won't. But this is one of those films that I just love because, probably largely because of when I saw it. I was in a kind of formative time watching a lot of these kind of movies, and I really enjoyed this one. And it makes me wonder if I'd seen this for the first time now, if I would put it in my Pantheon. But you know, a lot of why we love the films we love is because when we saw them, why we saw them, how we saw them, how we were feeling when we saw them, how they struck us at the time. It's kind of an interesting study if you think about it. But regardless, Funeral Home is just a fun little picture. So very happy to have this in a proper edition. I have three more items I want to talk about from my list of favorite movies of all time. And since Valentine's Day was not so long ago, I'd hoped to get this video done before Valentine's Day, but well, that just didn't happen. I wanted to talk about some films that were a little romantic. Romantic comedies in particular, not a genre that I watch heavily, but you know, nothing against them. I love all movies. I'll watch all movies. I just I'm not too familiar with that as something I watch a lot. However, I do have three that I picked that are on my list of all-time favorite films to talk about. The first two, not liking the pinkish, purplish cover color scheme, but oh well. But hey everyone, I really love the movie 13 going on 30. Now you gotta admit, this does have a little bit of sci-fi, a little bit of travel to the future, bodies inhabiting kind of stuff, you know. So it does have a little bit of genre to fuel the plot, or I should say a little bit of genre film to fuel the plot. But this is just a really fun and funny film. um, so this little girl in the 80s finds herself inhabiting the body of her older self in the future, which at the time of the movie would have been the moviegoer's present, and seeing how her life ends up, or you know how it will be. And so she gets some ideas of what she might want to change if she could ever make it back to her grade school self, or middle school self, or whatever she is. And so while she's inhabiting her future body, she meets one of her old childhood friends, now in the her future, played by Mark Ruffalo. And they kind of hit it off. Now, this movie just has so many fun scenes. There's a great thriller, Michael Jackson's Thriller dance scene, which is fun. But this is also the first film where I noticed Mark Ruffalo as an actor, like as Mark Ruffalo. I mean, I had seen him in other things before, but he just never, you know, registered. In this one, he stood out as being a really cool dude. And this stood out to me as the first time I was ever watching a movie, and maybe only the first of maybe one or two times in my life, because I don't think this way, where I was watching the movie and I was looking at him being all cool and saying to myself, you know what? I rather like his wardrobe. I need to get me some of those clothes. That is not the kind of person I am ever. But for some reason. Anyway, just a really fun little film. So, hey, I do not apologize for liking 13 going on 30. And as you can see, the next one, a little romantic comedy with Sandra Bullock, one of my favorite actresses, and Ben Affleck, Forces of Nature. Share that pink, purplish color scheme. Anyway. So yeah, Forces of Nature from 1999. Ben Affleck's character is on his way from New York to Savannah to get married. His fiancée is already there, setting everything up. All he has to do is get there. Along the way, he encounters Sandra Bullock. All sorts of traveling mishaps happen. They end up sharing most of the trip together, and well, you know what? They kind of like each other. What made me like this one is he's kind of a stuffy, straight-laced, you know, responsible kind of guy. She's more of a free-spirited, not altogether kind of person. And watching the interaction of those two kind of character traits affect the other and kind of get absorbed by each other, how they learn from each other in a way, was kind of neat. And I really liked her character. Really liked her character. Now, obviously, in a movie like this, you're thinking, well, okay, he's off to get married, but he runs into this girl who shows him that, hey, life can be crazy. Who's he going to end up with? Now, if it was from Lifetime, you could probably predict, but don't think you know where. Don't think that you know where this is going to go. And or Lifetime, I should say Hallmark. Those are very predictable, and they're more the romantic type. But I do not put those down either. Those are like, to me, they're like B movies for people who like romantic comedies. They have a formula, they're fun, and they're, whatever. Yeah, this one has an ending that really kind of had a weird kind of resonation with me. So, resonation? It resonated. Hey. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. Now, it does have some stylistic and maybe musical trappings that really date it to 1999. But that's okay because, it gives you the flavor of that time in a film. But, just be ready for that. Anyway, I really liked Forces of Nature. Enough to put it on my list of favorite films of all time. There we are. Next one is a little bit more of a personal choice. From 2008, Vicky Cristina Barcelona. This is the only, to date, Woody Allen film in my Pantheon. This one involves two girls, Vicky and Cristina, spending a summer in Spain, hence the Barcelona. There they meet Javier Bardem, and all sorts of crazy things happen. Penelope Cruz plays Javier's crazy ex-wife. And this also has Scarlett Johansson as one of the two girls going to Spain. This is a movie that if you are interested in Spain, this is full of Spain flavor. Matter of fact, the soundtrack to this movie is one of my all-time favorite soundtracks. It's Spanish music, but not your typical cliched kind of Spanish music you might expect. I mean, this was some hand-picked, curated selection stuff on this soundtrack. It's really good. This one is on my Pantheon because of the personal connection. This is one of the first early movies my girlfriend and I saw. We both love the soundtrack. This is, just kind of one of those movies that gets put into the Pantheon because of its personal significance. So, yeah, Vicky Cristina Barcelona. Here's something else, and happy belated Valentine's Day. So this time around for the bookshelf segment, I have 3 books to share with you. One is one that I just got in like a day or two ago. And in fact, it is a new book. I believe it's copyrighted 2024. I haven't read this. I haven't explored this book at all, other than to flip through the pages and see the movies that it talks about. But it is Satan in the Celluloid by P.J. Thorndike. The subtitle is 100 Satanic and Occult Horror Movies of the 1970s. So in other words, this is a focused look at movies from the 70s that deal with evil cults, demonic possession, black magic, any kind of stuff that relates to the fact that the 1970s, as it says here, were gripped by an obsession with the devil and all his works. 100 devilish movies that blazed across the screens of the drive-ins and grindhouses of the decade. So what I really like about this is that it's a focused look at 100 films from one decade that were all inspired by an interest in a certain thing in that decade. And so when you have that kind of thing, you're going to get more than just your surface level, superficial titles. I mean, sure, The Omen's in here, sure, The Exorcist is in here, but you have all sorts of other lesser known films. And it has a killer cover, retro VHS style looking cover. It even kind of has the thickness of a VHS. That's cool. So kind of looking forward to digging into that. This can be had at Amazon, by the way. I believe it's one of those ones that they'll print on demand. I ordered this, and it was printed right away. Valentine's Day 2024. So, yeah. They print them and ship them. The other two, delving back into my books that I've had for quite a while. I've been showing a lot of new acquisitions lately because I've been getting a lot of film books in, but these are ones I've had for quite some time. This is a Volume 1 and Volume 2 kind of situation of the Official Splatter Movie Guide by John McCarty. These are books kind of focusing, as you can see, on horror films, what they call splatter films, but they go from everything from, like, mainstream Friday the 13th to, as it says here, more obscure classics like Dr. Butcher MD. But what it is books I like where you have little capsule reviews. It's almost like a little guidebook. This first one has more than 400 little reviews, and there are some pictures. This one, it says hundreds more, and it is a little thicker, but same kind of deal. So these are just nice little reference books, and it's cool because, yes, it has the big titles like Silence of the Lambs, but it also has more obscure stuff like Curse of the Blue Lights. So it has, it's not just superficial, it digs deep into anything and everything that came out that kind of fits the bill of crazy horror, potentially splattery goodness. So when I got these years ago, I think I got them through Amazon Marketplace. I remember the second one was a little harder to find. I haven't checked to see how easy these are to get now, like on eBay, but they are worth having. So if these look attractive, check them out. That'll do it for this episode of the Cinematic Attic. Until next time, everyone, enjoy your movies.